And like we passed people and they gave me the weirdest look ever because no one should ever be that happy while running, right? Hey, what is up guys? I hope everyone's doing okay with coronavirus, and I want to thank you guys for clicking on this video. So I want to share this video, especially in a time where people may fear boredom or feel like they're wasting the days away. I did something called a dopamine detox. So what is a dopamine detox? To simply put it, like dopamine is just a chemical that gets released in your brain whenever you get a reward, whether that is like a chocolate bar, or you pass an exam, or you pick up a doll on the ground. Your body like unconsciously releases dopamine to treat yourself, give yourself like a little pat in the back. And your body like unconsciously like craves it. You don't like go on a run for like 10 hours every day because like you don't get as much reward as staying home watching a movie with your favorite ice cream. So during this 24 hours, I planned on not using my phone, not using my computer, not listening to music, basically anything that like distracted me from being present. So quarantine, I know probably like a majority of you guys, it's given me so much free time, and I think I've sort of filled that free time with like distractions, whether that meant like I was playing games or I would be on my phone scrolling through social media. And I have not been really treating my body and my mind as healthy as I should have. And I think it finally caught up to me, and I sort of had to figure a way to be more productive and have more energy to do the things I needed to do throughout the day. So one bad habit I sort of caught myself doing was like staying up late on my phone, watching YouTube videos, playing games. And then I would wake up and I would literally, the moment I wake up, I would grab my phone and hit like refresh on like my Instagram page or Facebook. Like this is just one of the bad habits I've built that sort of overfloods my brain with dopamine. And it's in a way that's like unhealthy and unnatural, right? So this bad habit would start me off on such a bad foot because certain days, for example, like I would eat dinner and then I would stay up so late and then I would sleep in until like 12 or 1, 2, maybe even 3 sometimes. And then I would be so hungry because I haven't eaten for like over 12 hours. I would like binge eat lunch and then I would get a food coma, and then I would have to do some work because I'm still like taking online classes, but then I would like fall asleep and then I can't do work because I don't have the energy, and then I wouldn't be able to exercise, and then it's like it's hard to control and balance your life when you're not like mindful or aware of how you're spending your time. So going into the detox, I was scared because I didn't know what to expect. I actually have tried a social media / dopamine detox in the past. It was like around when I was like 18. I stopped social media for the first time ever. I took a break for about 7 months. I didn't use my phone for any entertainment purposes, strictly only for communication. And like I had the calculator as like the only game I had. I don't know why like I make myself into a freaking monk or like an Amish woman to prove myself that I'm not addicted to certain things. And obviously like if I have that mentality, like I'm not gonna carry out like what I learned from the dopamine challenge into my new lifestyle, because it's just like I'm doing the challenge for the wrong reason. And I think going into this challenge, I really wanted to dedicate this detox to be different from the ones I've done in the past, where I'm not just like proving to myself that I don't need technology or I'm not addicted to social media. But this time I really wanted to dedicate a whole day for me to like sit down with myself and catch up with almost like an old friend, where I've sort of neglected the side of me where I'm like present in the world. Like I'm always so like overwhelmed or anxious by trying to like fix my own past, or like trying to not make mistakes, or be anxious of like who I should be in the future. And this 24 hours literally was just like a date with myself. It was weird because it was like I was talking to someone new. I'm like, who is that over there by himself? Like because like my present self, it almost feels like it's always being pushed aside because of my anxiety. Like what I want right now may not be what is best for me in the future, because I gotta like secure a job, I gotta like pay for my family, etc., etc. And like all these thoughts can overwhelm me sometimes and like take me out of the present. So by putting away all my temptations and all my fears, everything became so much easier. I remember I woke up and I was like trying to grab something, and my brain was, it was freaking out because like I'm breaking an old habit. Like this is something my brain was programmed to sort of like do after days and days and weeks of just like repeating and not having that. My brain almost was like, hey, like you better find something to stimulate this brain or else I'm gonna freak out. So I was like, okay, what? Like, whoa, hold up, like calm down. Cause like, I can't just lay in bed for 24 hours. So my brain was like almost like feeding me energy to get up and do certain things that I wouldn't have done in the past. For example, I picked up a book. Like I'm a math major. The last book I read was like Magic Treehouse in like elementary school. So that was like a shocker. Reading has never been so much easier. I read for like 30 minutes, which is a decent amount, I would say, for me at least. And I was so engaged in the book. While I was reading, I didn't have to worry about like, okay, today I have to do this, today I have to do that. It was literally just me and the book for those 30 minutes. So after reading, I was like, dang, I could do this all day. I had so much energy left. I was ready to start my day off. And that's what sort of got the ball rolling for one of the most successful days or productive days I had this year. And then, okay, so I was like, cool, reading. I sort of got that crossed off my list. What's something I can do next? I was like, hey, let's try out meditation. Everyone's always about like, hey, you gotta meditate this, you gotta meditate, be mindful, breathe, practice breathing, this, that, yoga, stretching, I don't know. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll try meditation. Here we go, 30 minutes, timer, bam. So with meditation, I was able to calm down this side of my brain that was like freaking out from not having all the stimulation. And I just really just focused on my breath, because like there's a saying like, you can't take a future breath or you can't take back a past breath, right? So something that's always going to be present is your breath. Yeah, so after meditation, I was like, okay, like what else should I do? I was sort of excited to go on with the day. And I looked at the clock and it was like 10. I was like, hold up. I did so much in the first hour and I still have a whole day left. It was almost like a challenge for me to see how much I can get done and be present and learn more about myself in this 24 hours. So I journaled. I wrote everything out that I was feeling, sort of like why I needed stimulation in the morning, sort of like, oh, how do I feel now after doing meditation? Just like reflecting and like checking in on myself. And then that was about like an hour. I ate food. Food was good too. Food is always good, right? Who doesn't love food? And then again, like it was like around 12. I was like, hold up, like what? I have so much time. I was like, hey, what's something I could do as well? I was like, okay, I could start drawing. And like my brain just started like formulating thoughts and like so many ideas for me to just be creative and not be dependent on social media, not be dependent on my computer and my phone. And this feeling was so nice because I was able to sort of feed the side of me that didn't get enough attention. Like the side that wants to be creative, the side that wants to be happy and proud of himself. And so I was drawing and I even went on a run. I got my brother asked me to run with him. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Usually I run with headphones, but this time I decided to not use headphones. And what was strange was it was the first time I felt like one with nature, quote unquote. I don't know. It was such a weird sensation because like while I was running, I was able to like, usually like one of my senses is already taken out, right? Like if I have headphones in, like you don't really listen to nature, you just listen to the music. And having that open up, having like my smell and like having all my senses available for nature, I was able to sort of like be present. And I swear, while I was running, I was literally running like this. And like we passed people and they gave me the weirdest look ever because no one should ever be that happy while running, right? I was literally like, and it was such an amazing feeling. And I think that's where like your brain starts releasing dopamine in a healthy way because you're literally putting in work and you're getting rewarded for it. It's not like all you have to do is just open up your phone and your brain gets fed that dopamine. But everything I did up until that point was I worked for that dopamine. And it was such a nice feeling. yeah, after that run, I washed up, I ate again, and by that time, I had this old habit of like going on my computer for like 2-3 hours after dinner to like sort of unwind and relax. But I did expect this. I knew that I would hit a wall eventually, and like when I hit this wall, I actually just journaled. I wrote about like why I felt like I hit this wall, like why was I so dependent on the computers like in the past, and like writing this out and getting a better understanding of like why I had certain habits in the past. Like once I finished this detox, I was able to look back at these old habits and say like, okay, there's like a missing hole here. I guess I should not be like, for example, like my phone, like having that by my side all day, like it was just a way for me to like sometimes like not just sit there awkwardly. But I was like, it sort of got me thinking in a way that I wanted to like solve these problems. So I was like, okay, maybe next time I can like talk to my parents or just talk to my brother or go downstairs and draw. And I think just like considering options is definitely like a positive step for me. So journaling was not hard at all, and it was such a great way for me to pass time. So what do I want to take away from this detox? Like, okay, so detox, obviously like nothing is bad or good. It's until you abuse it or it becomes like an addiction or you let it control your life. I think that's when it becomes bad. So this was just like a nice reminder for me to sort of calm down. Hey Sam, like you're okay. Be present. Don't fall into like the temptations and the overstimulation of the world around you, but just stay true to myself and build that little child in you that's always present and that always wants to be creative. So I definitely would recommend it for any of you guys who want to like be a better person or they want to make a change in their life, but they always feel like they fail after like a couple days or a couple weeks. Like that, I've gone through that so many times, and it sucks, right? Like it's a feeling where you're like, oh, I tried my best and it still didn't work. So why should I try it again? Hey, maybe sometimes like you gotta get it one more time for you to succeed. So keep yourself in check emotionally and mentally. These are super important for you, just as important as your social health and your physical health. I think that's everything I want to say today. Like quarantine, I even made a list of video ideas. I'll be talking, I think like my channel is so weird because like I try to be like entertaining, but it's also like I'm just ranting to the computer, like to the camera. So like who the hell like would want to listen to that, right? I guess some people, like my mom likes the video, so that's always hype. I wanna share a lot more about my study abroad experience. So just coming forward, maybe gonna alternate between like these videos where I talk about like mental health, and then like another video after that where I would talk about like 5 favorite moments I had while studying abroad. So you guys won't be so overwhelmed by all these like sad stories from me or something. I don't know. So that's it. Thanks for listening again. I hope I can see you guys soon, especially with quarantine ending. Not really anytime soon, but once it all ends, we're gonna hang out, all right? I love you.